Hey everyone, welcome back. Before we start, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you're enjoying the show.
All right, let's jump right in.
And we've got some tough choices coming up for the Chicago Bears this offseason.
Oh, yeah, some big decisions to be made, especially with the new head coach.
Exactly. Ben Johnson's coming in, and he's going to want to shake things up a bit, build a team that fits his vision.
Absolutely, and that often means saying goodbye to some players who were part of the old regime.
Sadly, it's true. And it's not always about talent either.
Right, the salary cap always plays a big role, freeing up resources to bring in new guys.
And the Bears might have to make some tough cuts to create that space.
No doubt.
One player who could be on the chopping block is tight end Gerald Everett.
Yeah, his season last year was pretty underwhelming, just 8 receptions for 36 yards.
Ouch, those are some rough numbers, especially for a tight end with a 2-year, $12 million contract.
Yeah, releasing him would give the Bears some much-needed breathing room under that salary cap.
We're talking about $5.5 million in savings, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Definitely not. That could be used to address some other needs on the roster.
For sure. Another name that's been swirling around is defensive end DeMarcus Walker.
Walker had a decent run with the Bears, but his production dipped last season.
Yeah, he finished with just 3.5 sacks.
And the Bears are definitely looking to upgrade their pass rush. They weren't happy with their ability to generate pressure or stop the run.
So cutting Walker would make sense. Save them another $5.3 million.
Exactly, bringing the potential total savings to over $10 million.
Now, this last one might raise some eyebrows. There's been talk about cutting kicker Cairo Santos.
Interesting. He's been fairly reliable over the years, even nailed a game-winning 51-yard field goal against Green Bay to end the season.
A clutch kick for sure, but there are concerns about his consistency.
Especially from long range. Plus, the Bears led the league in blocked field goals. Some of that might be due to Santos's kicking style.
They might be looking for a kicker with a stronger leg, someone who can consistently make those longer attempts.
Makes sense. And it would save them another $2.1 million.
So we've got Everett, Walker, and Santos as potential cuts, all in an effort to free up cap space and bring in players who better fit Ben Johnson's system.
Yeah, it seems like those are the main drivers behind these potential moves.
So let's dive a little deeper into each of these players. Starting with Everett, let's look at his performance beyond the basic stats.
All right, sounds good. It seemed like Everett's role really diminished as the season went on.
Yeah, he wasn't targeted as much.
And he wasn't a factor in the red zone.
Right.
It's possible the previous coaching staff just didn't see him as a key piece.
Yeah, or maybe his skill set didn't fit their scheme.
Could be.
It's worth noting that Everett's never been a super productive receiver anyway.
Yeah, a couple decent seasons with the Rams, but never really lived up to the hype.
And at 29 years old, he's probably not going to suddenly become a Pro Bowler. So the Bears might be thinking, why pay a premium for a player who's not a game changer?
Makes sense.
They could use that $5.5 million to address other needs.
For sure.
All right, let's move on to DeMarcus Walker.
Okay.
You mentioned the Bears want to revamp their defensive line. What are they looking for in a replacement for Walker?
Someone who can consistently get to the quarterback.
More than just sacks.
Yeah, Walker had his moments, but he wasn't disruptive enough week in and week out.
Right.
They need a guy who can collapse the pocket, force the quarterback to make quick decisions, create turnovers.
So someone who can impact the game in multiple ways.
Exactly. Someone who can win those one-on-one battles, penetrate the backfield, disrupt the flow of the offense.
And ideally strong against both the run and the pass.
Right, that's the ideal.
It's a tall order, but those are the players that make a difference.
Yeah, they can turn a good defense into a great one.
Absolutely. The Bears have a solid foundation on defense already with guys like Sweat and Johnson.
For sure.
If they can add a few more impact players, especially on the D-line, they could be really formidable.
No doubt about it.
Now let's talk about Cairo Santos cutting a kicker who just won you a game with a 51-yarder. Seems bold. What's the thinking there?
Well, it's not as crazy as it sounds.
Okay.
Santos has been generally reliable, but mainly on these shorter kicks.
Right.
There are still those concerns about his leg strength struggles from beyond 50 yards.
Yeah.
And in today's NFL, where field position is so crucial, you need a kicker who can consistently make those long ones.
Makes sense. Those block kicks are a red flag too.
Absolutely. You have to wonder if some of that is due to his technique or his kicking motion.
They might be looking for a kicker with a higher trajectory.
Yeah, someone who can get the ball over the line more consistently.
So even though Santos has been valuable, they might be willing to take a chance on a younger kicker with a stronger leg.
Even if it means sacrificing some experience.
Right. And let's not forget the financial aspect. Releasing Santos would save them another $2.1 million.
That could be the difference between signing a key free agent or having to settle for a lesser option.
It's all about maximizing resources, building the best possible team.
Exactly.
Now, beyond these three potential cuts, are there any other players who might be on the bubble? Any positions the Bears absolutely need to address?
There are always a few players whose futures are uncertain, guys who are either underperforming, getting too expensive, or just not a good fit.
Right.
One player who falls into that category is wide receiver Byron Pringle.
Pringle has been solid, but he's entering the final year of his contract.
Yeah, and he's coming off a season where he missed some time with injuries.
Right.
The Bears have a couple of young receivers who are hungry for more playing time.
So they might go with a younger, cheaper option.
It's possible this is a tough business.
It is. Sometimes experience and reliability aren't enough.
Especially when you're they're up against the salary cap and a new coach who's looking to make his mark.
Yeah, that's true. Another player who could be on shaky ground is offensive lineman Larry Borom.
Yeah, Borom has had his moments, but he's also struggled with consistency.
And offensive line is a position where they desperately need to improve.
They've invested heavily in Justin Fields.
Right.
But they need to give him better protection.
So they might be looking to upgrade at right tackle.
Which could mean Borom is the odd man out.
Yeah, they could explore free agency or the draft.
Definitely.
So we've got Pringle and Borom as potential cuts, along with Everett, Walker, and Santos.
That's 5 players who could be on their way out.
It's a fluid situation. Things could change, but those are definitely names to watch.
For sure.
Now, besides those potential cuts, are there any positions you think they absolutely need to address?
In addition to the offensive line, I think they need to add some depth at linebacker and in the secondary.
They've lost a couple of key players at linebacker recently, right?
Yeah, Roquan Smith's departure left a big hole.
And they haven't been able to fill it?
Not yet.
And the secondary is always a priority in this pass-happy league.
Absolutely. You can never have too many talented DBs.
Right.
I think they'll be looking to add some players who can cover tight ends and slot receivers and someone who can play center field and make plays on the ball.
So it sounds like the Bears have a busy offseason ahead of them.
They do. They have some holes to fill, some tough decisions to make, and a lot of potential to improve.
It'll be fascinating to watch it all unfold.
Absolutely. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and I have a feeling the Bears will be right in the thick of things.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about potential cuts, roster needs, coaching, and the overall direction of the team.
And we've explored some of the key factors that will influence their decisions and the potential impact of those decisions on the upcoming season.
It's been a thought-provoking discussion, and I'm sure Bears fans are eager to see what moves the team makes in the coming months. It's a crucial point for them.
For sure. With a new coach and a lot of room for improvement.
They've got to make the right choices.
Yeah, it's all about making smart decisions, maximizing their resources, finding that balance between talent, experience, and youth.
To build a team that can compete every single week.
Absolutely.
It's a tricky balance, for sure. Can't afford to make too many mistakes, especially with limited cap space.
And it's not just about the players they bring in, right? It's about developing the ones they already have.
So true, coaching plays a huge role.
Absolutely. A huge role in maximizing a player's potential.
Ben Johnson's style, his ability to get the most out of his players, that's going to be crucial.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his plate.
He does, but he's also got a fantastic opportunity
to build something special in Chicago.
With a young quarterback with tons of potential and a defense that's showing promise.
Right.
If he can make the right moves this offseason and really get that locker room buying into his culture.
Yeah, they could be a team to watch out for in the NFC North.
I agree. They have the potential to surprise some people.
If things fall into place, absolutely.
All right, we've covered a lot today. Potential cuts, roster needs, coaching, the overall direction of the team.
We've explored some of the key factors that will shape their offseason, the challenges they'll face.
Trying to get back to being a contender.
Exactly.
It's been a fascinating conversation, really insightful.
It has.
I think it gives us a much better understanding of what lies ahead for the Bears.
Definitely. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, what the team looks like next season.
It's going to be an exciting offseason for Bears fans, that's for sure. Lots of uncertainty, but also a lot of hope. New coach, young quarterback, some promising pieces on both sides of the ball.
Could be a fun year.
They have the potential to make some noise in the NFC.
We'll be watching closely.
We will. Thanks for joining us today. It's always great talking football.
My pleasure. Always enjoy it.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more insights and analysis. Until then, keep those helmets shined and those jerseys pressed. We'll see you on the gridiron.